Hey friends, happy Monday. I just about forgot what day it was. Happy Monday. Welcome to my live. And if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin and I'm with Robin's A Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. Once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and tell me where you're watching from. I do want to let you know I'm live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching from a different platform. And if at any time during this program and project you like what you see, and you would like to help me get in the eyeballs, in front of the eyeballs of other people, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up button or hit that heart button and spread some of the crafty love all over Facebook and YouTube. Not only does that help me, but that also helps you because it tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content. Therefore, it will show you more of this kind of content. So I greatly appreciate it, and you're welcome for helping you out. With that, I don't see that anyone has hopped on or commented yet. So, I see Mr. Jason. He says hello from the other side of the door. And because I'm a little late, and I apologize for that, I had to dig in the couch cushions for some motivation to hop on live tonight. Not that I don't want to see your smiling, happy faces, but I am beat today. So I'm here. We're going to do a cute little project, but let's not waste any time and let's flip that camera. Hello, Miss Bonita. She says she's watching from her living room. Yeah, again, like I said, I had to reach into the depths of the couch cushions to find some extra motivation for this evening, but we're all here. We're going to make a cute project, and I might need your help. So we are going to be using one of the new size G transfers. This size G is a kind of a half C transfer. So it is a 6x18 transfer. This one is called Elf Buddies. It's super cute. It has 3 little elf guys or gals, carrying this big spruce tree. So if you're new to Couture, these are reusable sticky back transfers or stencils. They are reusable about 8 to 12 times. So because they are reusable, I'm just going to write the name of the transfer on the back. That way I know that this is the back side of the carrier sheet, and that when I'm done with the transfer, it is all clean, it is all dry, it's ready to be put back, that it goes on this side, not this side. We're going to put that away for just a little bit. So I have not used one of these surfaces for a while. These are, if I flip it over, you'll probably be able to tell what it is. Benita says it looks like she's glad she bought more 5-gallon paint sticks. I had these in my stash. Actually, I had these, a couple of packages in my stash. I also had an old sled that I had made with one of the old 9x12 door tags, and some of I used the 5-gallon paint sticks as the sled runners. Well, it never sold for, I think, a couple of holidays. And it was in my craft room. I was tripping over it. It was falling down. It finally fell apart. So I swiped a couple of the 5-gallon paint stick blades from it. And so I was able to piece together 3 of these signs with what I already had in my stash, plus those sled blades. So this is 5 across of 5-gallon paint sticks. And then sometimes I cut them apart, and so these are actually the tops. These 2 are the tops of regular paint sticks. And I think this one is also a regular sized paint stick. So I just use 3 braces. I use wood glue. I use Type Bond wood glue, and I don't even use any staples. I've never had any come apart. But that's what we're going to do. And then I used Waverly Antique Wax to faux stain it. And now we're going to use some watered down Waverly plaster paint. And I'm just going to give it a kind of a quick paint, nothing perfect. I want some of those distressed edges to show. And then we're going to add our chalk magic to it. I used to use these all the time, and then I got away from it, but I'm trying to clean out my stash, because my stash, it's almost overwhelming. It is overwhelming. It's almost debilitating. It's so overwhelming. I need to do some mystery boxes, I think. Let me know in the comments if you'd be interested in some mystery boxes. It has some surfaces, some transfers, stencils, probably some paste singles. I've got it might even include some acrylic paint, because I have too much paint. Okay. So what do you have planned for your paint sticks, Miss Bonita? Anything in particular? I think depending on the design of the transfer, I think this size works pretty well with those, the G size. I think that looks pretty good. I'll just stress it a little bit more, but for the most part, and I probably have a little bit more paint than I want, but that's okay. So I'm going to stick most of that back in. And I will paint the sides and the back later, i.e. about 3 weeks from now, probably. At the rate that I go. You know, I still have not finished the Snoopy t-shirt. I fixed the sled blades and inked them black, but I still have to paint in the little Snoopy we did on the sleeve. welcome to my life. 3 stacking transfers. Yeah. So yeah, this I think this one fits. So it just barely fits the size G transfers. I normally would do, I think, 3 or 4 across, but I had to add a little one. Or I had to add another one. She has a layered Christmas tree she needs to do. Anita says she has, let's read this one. She has so much stuff she's accumulated for Surface. You shouldn't have to buy anything for years. I told myself that the other day about Christmas paper. I had enough Christmas scrapbook paper to last a lifetime. Do you know what I bought the next day at Hobby Lobby? 2 more pads of Christmas paper. And I think one of them they actually were new. No, one of them I already had, but yeah, it's just stupid. It's crazy. FOMO gets me every time. So, speaking of FOMO, I have some of those number 10 tin cans, the big jumbo food service size. So I've had them in my stash to make pumpkins, but for about the 3rd fall in a row, I have not made pumpkins. So I thought I'd shift and try to make something with them for Christmas. And I saw the Iron Orchid Designs St. Nick mold today. Oh my gosh, that thing is stunning. And I thought I could cast them with resin or air dry clay and kind of mold them to the side of that tin can. I swear I took that mold, I put the mold in my cart and took it out of my cart 4 different times today. But I figured I could start with the molds that I already have. And if it's successful and I sell some, then maybe but I know that those IOD molds, once they're gone, they're gone. Especially the Christmas ones. But I get paid again on Friday, so new budget, new blow money. So if I can still find one on Friday, maybe I'll buy it. But FOMO is a killer. Speaking of FOMO again, so there is a site-wide sale on my chalk site. So everything site-wide minus the collaboration transfers. So that would be the Tiffany Thiessen, the Debbie Westbrooks, and the Peanuts transfers. Those are excluded from the sale, but everything is site-wide, or is 25% off. And I think they've added some older transfers. So make sure you take a look at that. So it's not just the sale category, it's everything. So if you've been looking at surfaces or new paste, new transfers, and that's on top of, if you're a designer, that's on top of your designer percentage. If you're a Perks member, it's on top of your Perks member savings. If you're a retail customer, then it's 25% off of the retail price. Yes, it does include paste, Miss Bonita. Everything is 25% off, plus if you're a Perks member, that's in addition to your Perks price. So you just need to make sure that you're logged in under your account, and then it will show whatever discount that you might get as a specific customer. So if you have not joined the Perks program, I would highly encourage you to join the Perks program, so it would be so that you can stack those savings. I think I'm going to have to sand it just a skosh because it's pretty rough. So I got to reach for this guy. Okay, so I just have my little palm sander. I think that's a smiley face. I can't see it from here. I'm so blind. I'm just going to rough this up a little bit. If you have earbuds in, I'm sorry. This will give it a little bit of distressing before we paste it. Oops. Okay, get that dusted off. Oh, it's dusty in here. Okay, now she's good and distressed. Okay, let's get our wax out. On my chalk wax, Couture wax is upstairs. I'm just gonna try to melt it, melt it, and melt it down to where it's either in one container, and see if I can reconstitute it and make it work again, but it's all upstairs. So I'm using Minwax paste finishing wax. It's my preference, but there is wax available on my chalk site. I did not do a cart link, but I can add one into the comments afterwards. But I'm just putting a little bit of paste down on my surface to make sure that I have a barrier kind of between my painted surface and my transfer, because I could wreck either one of them if I'm not careful. So this will just keep the transfer from sticking so hard that it either pulls up my paint or it stretches the transfer. I don't want either of those to happen. I'm just going to buff it in. Okay. And don't forget, if you're a Perks member, you have that $20 product credit. that you have to use in 30 days. Just saying. Okay. Okay, so we're going to fuzz this. And if anyone ever needs any help with that, please feel free to reach out. I can help you with that. But you should, when you log on, it should tell you your design dollar credit amount. And then I think you get a reminder email if I'm correct. I don't remember. Okay, so I'm just fuzzing this a little bit just to knock back some of that adhesive. It's mainly the four corners that I'm interested in because that's where all the sticky is. I want to try to keep most of this sticky because there's a lot of silk screen there. I got a hair. Okay, so I'm going to shimmy this. I'm going to center it in between the top and the bottom. I'm going to pull it. I'm actually going to pull it up. Well, my star ends up kind of in the crevice. I think that'll work. Oh, I need to get out a paste for my star. I forgot. Okay, so for my paste colors, I was going to do kind of a hot mess of pesto and ivy, and then espresso for the bark or the trunk of the tree, and then I pulled out Dune, camel, and bark for their hair. Just there's a touch of hair and an ear and face, so I was going to try to make them somewhat multicultural. And then I probably need to get silver for their skates. And then I was going to make one of their outfits red, one a raspberry sorbet, and one couture teal. You could also switch out for lagoon, which I think would be really pretty. So let me get silver. I forgot about their skates. Let's see, I don't know if I have silver. And then my silver is dried up, so we'll use Disco, which is a former color of the month. So it's one of the metallic silvers, and then we'll use Nominee for the star. But let me get out Lagoon and I'll show you. I think it would be a good, if you didn't want to use Couture Teal. So these are the three colors I picked for their outfits. But I think you could swap out Lagoon, which I think would be really pretty. Okay. I'm going to have to do a little bit of taping. The hot mess is going to be slightly difficult around this area because of the little elves. So I'm just going to tear a few little pieces of my placement tape and try to start mainly just that little area. In between the tree. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just enough to where I don't totally make a mess. I'll cover up his face. And it kind of kind of act as a little stop visual. And I used to be able to get away with like painter's tape, but I don't recommend that because it's peeled off some of my teal before, which then just leaves a big gaping hole of mesh. A few more little pieces and I think we're good to go. You could get away with being careful, but I'm not always very careful. I'd rather be safe than sorry, which is usually what happens. I think this will work. Okay. Let's get out a couple of stir sticks. I'll get out a couple of squeegees. So I'm just going to take my, and this probably isn't the best combination of greens, but it's the first two I picked, so that's what we're going with. So I'm going to put a little bit of pesto on my stir stick, and I'm just going to put globs here, there, and everywhere. And I'm just going to start with the bottom for right now. And we're going to do the same thing with ivy. Okay, we're going to see how that gets us. And then we're going to take a squeegee and we're just going to start squeegee that color on. That went over. You know what? I'm just going to cheat. I'm going to use this weird color that we've just made up here in a few spots, just so I don't waste it. So now I'm going back in with a little bit of pesto. Oh, I forgot his hand right there. He just about got a whole hand. Is that this guy? Yeah, I just about forgot him. Thank you. I'm gonna cover. Oops, I probably need to peel down there. Let's see, I'm going to peel down here. Hopefully it hadn't started drying because I'm lollygagging. So far, so good. Okay, so let's get my squeegee back out. And if I accidentally color over something, we can fix it. Be careful up here. Okay. I don't necessarily mind mixing that in with my ivy. Don't do that, but I don't mind. It's my color. Just mix it in and nobody will know. They're not going to know. Get that part peeled up, and then we'll peel up all of our tape. See what we got. Okay. Very pretty. Let's see if I can lift all this up and show you. I like that variation. I do have a weird line right there, but it'll be fine. So I'm just going to gently lay it back down. And we'll kind of burnish parts of the elf. Oops. Okay. Oops, I'm a little off somewhere, but that's okay. Okay, so now we can remove all of our tape. So that's going to take a wee bit. And I did go over the line a couple of times. Because I waxed, it'll be a little easier to get that off. Okay, now let's come up here. It's a good thing I have one nail left. Jason says the colors are awesome. Thank you. It look really pretty with a shimmer. My upline she pasted it green, and then she mixed a joint compound and a little bit of green pesto paste, and actually texturized the whole thing after she was done. It looks stunning. Okay, got a tiny piece there. There's some rogue green in a few spots, but okay. Cut all that off. Get all this off my finger. Got a little bit right there on the elf. It hasn't gone through, so try to do him last. Okay. And I got to work around the tree. I'm not always fond of all these that have the details so close together. I don't really want to tape off again. I'll just tape right there. It's not a lot, I guess. We'll figure it out. Just try not to do so many little pieces. I think I can get in there with a detail tool and something else. Actually, can use one of these clay tools that has a smaller squeegee on it to get into that little crevice. Okay. Whoops. Wash that off because we'll probably have to use that again. There. We're gonna let that sit for a little bit. I don't want to pull that up with wet paste. Okay, so let's do the star. Get that out of the way. So this is nominee. We'll just keep using this little guy. So fun fact, when Couture, I think they were part of a Kickstart program to begin with, a Kickstarter program. They literally didn't sell any squeegees. So the original OG designers were using kitchen spatulas for their squeegees. So you could use any silicone-based utensil, basically. Let's get out Disco and we'll do their skates. And I'm just going to do the whole skate. I'm not going to worry about, I should probably maybe color them, but I might try to color their socks, but we'll just do the skates all metallic. And I'll come back and do his. We're going to let that brown dry a little bit. I'm going to re-release that again. Okay. I'm going to peel this off, I think. Remind me next time I use the placement tape to fuzz it on my pants or a fuzz cloth. It's super sticky for some reason. So let's do his skates. Okay, so I think we're done with that color. Okay. Okie doke. I think we'll do their faces next. So we'll do, and I'm just going to do their hair and face all in the same color, just for ease. Oops. Okay. Okay. That one's done. That one's kind of hard to see on the white surface, but so this is camel. I always forget. And if this one ends up being too light, we can always come back in with some camel. We'll just have two ethnicities because it is kind of hard to see on the palette background. We'll see. We'll see what the end result looks like. And then Bart. Come down here. Oh. It's going to be really close to the tree. Probably shouldn't have done that. Should have put this color somewhere else. Was not thinking. Oh, well, we can do the same thing. We can swap them around. Maybe I can put the dune or the dune on top of this one. Maybe they'll blend. Oh, we'll see. We'll fix it. There's always a workaround. Okay, so now we can come back in with their and their little socks. This little guy, his little feet aren't even touching the ground. Let's do... We'll do red cherry first. Come down here and do their socks real quick. They have little stripes on their socks. And their mittens. Okay. Let's see what he looks like. Yeah, you can hardly see his face. We're gonna have to, we'll fix that. Okay. Super fun. Okay, we'll do this guy in teal. Okay, now I got to get his mittens or sleeves. Because his mittens will actually be white. Okay. Oh, I think he's my fave. Got a spot up here. Oh, he's so cute. Okay. And then raspberry sorbet for the one down here. Just borrow this. How's everybody doing? Benita says this is going to be adorable. Thank you. I'm actually thinking about some embellishments. I'll need to look in my stash and see what I have. I'm glad I decided to do him tonight. This one tonight. I know I remember saying this last year, but I'm a sucker for, I love traditional Christmas colors, but there's something about this pink coral red and like a lime green color that I don't like pastel, but I like this retro colorway really well. But my preference is traditional colors, but I do really like this kind of color palette. I gotta figure out. You cannot see his face at all. Let me get the marker sheet. So we gotta figure out what we're gonna do. So you can hardly see his face, the cherry red guy. You can see his face really well. That's camel. And actually this one doesn't look bad. I think it would look better not up against the tree. But let's embellish, and then maybe off camera I'll worry about. And it would be super cute. I think you could probably get some thin acrylic markers and maybe color in their face. But I'm just going to leave it like that, I think. But let me go. I have some specific embellishments in mind. I'll be right back. Let's see. Of course, I don't have pink with me. Oh yeah, a little tiny bit of pink. Okay, so I've got some baker's twine here. I have a skosh of pink left. Okay. Ouch. Okay, and then I have something else in here. You can probably hear it. Okay. So the transfer is super easy to clean. It just takes water and you just let it air dry. Once you've water a board eraser, you just kind of want to wipe it off. And then you let it dry, sticky side up. Colored stones and the white circles of the tree, that would be cute. I'm actually going to dig into my, so we can use, got a couple different options. I was going to glue a little, a little jingle bell to their ball of their hat, and then add a little tiny bow that corresponds with, I can either use silver bells and just the colored twine, or I have the multicolor. So let's just test and see. I bought these for some of my paper crafting projects, but I think they'll look cute here. So let's pull out. Okay, golly molly. Not quite the same color, but it'll work. There's the pink. And I could even change them up, but okay, so let's move that off right now. So we could do, I wonder if I could cut that off. I'm not going to cut it off now, but okay, so we have, pretend that that's sticking up. So you could do the same color, or you could, with the same color twine, or we could mix up the colors, I don't know, or you could do silver, which these are a little smaller, so might be a little bit more to scale. Or actually probably gold, since the star is gold. Silver or gold, or colored. Leave that one silver out. I don't like to mix my metals, but I'm picky like that. Or gold. Oh, that gold is cute. But they also have silver skates. Maybe silver. What do you think? And then once we decide on the bells, I'll cut the little shank off so that I can get them stuck on there. Silver with the colored bows. I think any of the ways would be cute. Let's get my glue gun going. That way the star kind of shines on itself. So let's put those away. We'll get out 2 more of these. You could even get fancy and put different colors. Like Bonita was saying, you could do jingle bells, you could do stones. Okay. So let me see if I can whack that off. Maybe not with these little ones. Let's see if I have some flush cutter. My flush cutters. Here. Oh, look, it's been an hour. I give up. I'm never gonna have short lives. Oh yeah, that went flying somewhere. These are flush cutters. They're like for jewelry. That worked perfect. Ooh. Okay, that worked. Throw those away. Jason says it's been a great hour. Okay, let's get these little teeny tiny bows made. Might use that piece. So I want little teeny tiny. It might still be too big. I think I have. I was going to see if I had any of my reverse tweezers, but I don't. Go figure. So I'm just going to try to tie that in the middle. Ish. It's about as teeny tiny as I can get. Might be a bit too big, but what do y'all think? Is that too big of a bow? I probably needed more thingamawatchers, but it'll have to do. My glue gun needs charged. Wah wah. This is why I prefer corded things. Never run out of battery. Okay, green. Okay, Robin, think teeny tiny. Too teeny tiny. Need my little reverse tweezers to hold it down, but that's okay. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I think I got that one. One loop too big. Oops. Wrong loop. Still wrong loop. That one is all messed up, but I've one really long. I can't figure out which one to pull to make it. Nope. There. Now then that one's going to be long. There we go. Process of elimination. not charge while it's on. I don't know about the colored bows. I don't know if I can get them small enough. Just they kind of cover. That one's really big. I think we might just do. It kind of covers up everything. We might be able to get it to work. I might need to redo that one, but try this one. How's everybody doing? Sorry, I'm in the zone. Same thing happened on that one. I have a really big one. I think if we put the jingle bell on top, that might work okay. This one is just weird looking. I think I'm going to have enough juice. And I left this one out the other night, and it has a clump in it. I'm just batting 1,000 tonight, folks. Just need to put the lid on. Yep, there, maybe that got it out. Nope. Okay, let's grab something. Can't talk, in the zone. You are correct. This won't be the best, but it's not going to want to come out either. There we go. I do have some super glue I could use. I don't want to cover up his face. Nothing. Okay, well, let's just come in with this Type Bond. I just have to be really gingerly with it. Hot glue would definitely work better. Just won't be able to move it for a while. Just kind of holding that there for a little bit. I think that might work. Okay. I think that turned out super cute. I do say so myself. I'll just gingerly. So there's the little pink guy. And you've got the Couture teal one and the red one, although I think I'm just going to get a marker and fix his face a little bit, or paintbrush, because he's really hard to see. There's their little socks. Super cute. I think that might be working. Well, I'm not going to hold it up for a while. Oh boy, we went out of focus. Pretty. It's still out of focus. Well, we'll just come back to me. There, now I'm in focus. I don't know if I can hold it up. I'll hold it up gingerly. So this is what we did. Oops, gotta go this way. There's our cute little elves. Thanks so much for your help. And don't forget the site-wide sale through the 29th. Everything Halloween every day, and I do know that they added stuff, so make sure you go check that out, see all the cool stuff that's been added. Jason says he loves it. Thank you. Yeah, it did turn out cute. So if you happen to use this transfer and put it on anything, let me know, tag me in it, put it in our Crafty Lounge group if you are a member of that private group. With that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. I will be live again on Wednesday with a fun Mod Podge transfer project. It's a new to me project, so come experiment with me. And Miss Bonita says adorable. Thank you. Come hang out with me and we will experiment together. Until then, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.